Okay, apologies for this video going up a little bit late. Had some meetings and had a little trouble getting things to work. So let's keep this real quick. This is lesson 6.6. Thanks for watching. It is on proportions and percents, and that is going to be solving percent type equations using proportions, which can be a little bit different than what we're going to do tomorrow night. We're going to solve the same kinds of problems a different way using equations tomorrow. And you might think, well, wait a second, a proportion is an equation, and it is, but it's a special kind. So tonight, I want you to focus in on proportions and percents. Okay, now there's a subtitle to this lesson, and that is over of equals percent over 100. And I want you to notice the color change. The is, the of, and the percent are all written in green, but the 100 is written in a different color. And that's because the 100 is always going to be there. That is a number. It is always going to go under the percent. The neat thing is that the other things, the ones in green, is, the of, and the percent, can all be the variable. They can all be the unknown quantity that we're going to be looking for. All right, so let's see what we're looking at. Let's start with a known fact, and we'll see what we're talking about while we're breaking down this is over of equals percent over 100. Okay, it's a declared fact that if I take 10% of 50, it is going to be let's say it's money, so it would be $5, okay? Think about that. If you had $50 and you're going to divvy it up amongst 10 friends, each person is going to get $5. All you do when you take 10% of something is you just move the decimal over 1. It's like dividing by 10. All right, so given that that's a declared fact, let's go ahead and let's look at how we could break that down. Okay, so, oops, sorry, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's back up. Okay, so let's take that declared fact and let's break it down. So is over of equals percent over 100. Okay, so the is, let's look at it right here. So we have 10% of 50 is 5. Note that 10% of 50 is 5. All right, so the is this number right here. It's 5. Okay. The of is the number that follows it, of 50. That's going to go on the bottom here. Okay, and the percent right here, 10%, that always goes right here over 100. Okay, and so when I go ahead and set that up, notice that 5 over 50 does equal 10 over 100. If you don't believe me, go ahead and cross multiply. You'll see that 50 times 10 is equal to 500. And 5 times 100 is also equal to 500. So we have just verified that we have a proportion, which means that both of these fractions, the left side and the right side, are equal. Now the way it's going to manifest, all right, so that's the idea, right? Is goes over of, and that's going to equal percent over 100. We're always going to get a proportion. So the way I'd actually have one of these problems, again, let's use the same exact math fact. So how would I set it up if I'm looking for what is 10% of 50? All right, so what are we looking for? We're looking for the is number. Where does it go? Is over of equals percent over 100. So we're looking for the is. We know that the of is 50, so we'll put that down here. And we know that the percent is 10%, so it goes over 100. Okay, we solved this equation. That one you can actually probably solve with arrows. Always go towards the variable. And all I'm doing here is taking half of 100 to get 50. I'm dividing by 2, correct? Going from right to left. So if I divide 10 by 2, I'm going to get 5. If you don't believe me, go ahead and cross multiply. You get 100 times x is equal to 50 times 10. Divide both sides by 100. Notice I didn't actually multiply on the right side. 50 over 100 reduces to 1/2. 10 divided by 2 equals 5. Okay, so we have just solved that problem. Now, that was looking for the is. That was the variable. Next, 5 is what percent of 50. Now the variable is the percent. So the 5 is the is number, so it goes on top. The 50 is the of number, so it goes on the bottom. Is over of equals percent. That's what we're looking for this time, so that's the variable over 100. Okay, and again, you can see this pretty quickly with arrows. We're just doubling the top and bottom, so clearly x is going to equal 10. And again, if you don't believe me, cross multiply and divide. You get 50 times x is equal to 5 times 100. Divide both sides by 50. The 50s cancel out. 50 goes into 100 twice, and 5 times 2 equals 10. And so that's the percent. And the last one, if 5 is 10% of what number? Again, we know the is, it's 5. Okay, we're looking for the of this time. That's what we don't know, so that'll be the variable. And the 10% is a percent, so it always goes over 100. The percent always goes over 100. Let's just go ahead and cross multiply this one. We get 10 times x is equal to 5 times 100. Divide both sides by 10. And you'll quickly see, we'll cancel that. 5 times 10 is 50. Okay, and again, all of this is really just breaking down that math fact we had on the previous screen, that 5 is 10% of 50. Okay, and again, notice that each time the variable was in a little different place. Here, we were looking for the is, so the variable went on the is part. Here, we're looking for the percent, so the variable went on the top of the 100. And lastly, we're looking for the of, and so the variable goes down here in the of part. Is over of equals percent over 100. All right, that's it. That's the whole lesson. So what I'm going to have you do now, I'd like you to, it's your turn, okay? I want you to do these 4 problems, and I want you to notice that this is the 3 different kinds of problems again. In each of these problems, you're going to be looking for a different thing. Sometimes you're looking for the of, sometimes you're looking for the is, sometimes you're looking for the percent. I'd like you to pause the video right now. I'd like you to set up each of these as a proportion. Either do it on your notes or do it on a separate sheet of paper. I'd really like you to bring it to class tomorrow so I can actually see what you did on this problem. Okay? And go ahead and pause the video. Do your best to solve these 3 equations. If you need to rewind, I'll even give you a little hint. Okay, it's is over of equals percent over, and again, the 100 always goes underneath the percent. That will never be the variable. It's always going to be one of those yellow ones that's the variable. So go ahead, pause the video, and solve these 3 questions. As soon as you're done, hit resume, and we'll make sure you get the right answers. All right, I'm going to trust you that you went ahead and you did these. All right, so let's go ahead and set it up. What is 24% of 124? Well, we know the of, we know the percent, we're looking for the is. So it's x over the of, which is 124. Oops, sorry, I can't quite read that. Equals 24 over 100. I'm going to cross multiply and divide this, and I get 100 times x is equal to 24 times 124. Notice I didn't multiply that, so let's divide both sides by 100, and let's see what we can cancel here. I can cancel the hundreds, so I get x equals, what happens over here on the right, I can definitely cancel a lot of stuff. Let's take a 2 out of the 100, you get 50, and that'll reduce the 24. I'm running out of room here, so I'm going to move it up here. I'm going to put it at 12. Be careful we don't lose that. It's still both even, so let's take another 2 out. Now this is 25, and this is going to reduce down to 6. Okay? There's no more factors between the 6 and the 25, so I look at the 124. 25 is kind of a unique number. It's a perfect square. The only thing that goes into it is 1, 5, and 25. None of those go into 124, so we're pretty much reducing it, done reducing it. So we're going to get 6 times 124. I'm going to cheat and use a calculator this time, so I can keep this real short. So 6 times 124 comes out to be, whoops, not that. 6 times 124 is equal to 744. And if I divide that by 25, I'm going to get 29.76. So we're going to change this equals sign to an approximately equals, and we're going to change it to 29. Just like yesterday, we rounded everything to the nearest tenth, so we're going to round to the nearest tenth again. We get 29.8. Although actually, the actual answer was 29.56. So if we wanted to be exact, that was not much harder. We could have just put this down. So that's the exact equal. That's rounded to the nearest tenth. Okay, the second equation, what percent of 250 is 138? So they gave us the of, they gave us the is. We just got to put them in the right order, so make sure the is goes on top and the of goes on the bottom. Is going to equal, we're looking for the percent, so that's going to be the variable, over 100. And again, we're going to cross multiply and divide. We get 250 times x is equal to 138 times 100. Divide both sides by 250. This should get very natural as we go through this unit. We're going to do a lot of this proportion canceling. Now, 100 and 250, that's actually pretty easy. Obviously, 50 goes into both of these numbers. It goes into 100 twice, and it goes into 255 times. All right, and already I'm all the way reduced. 2 times 138, I don't need a calculator for that. 2 times 8 is 16. I'm going to get 76. I'm going to get 276 divided by 5. And when I divide 276 by 5, I'm going to get There's my x. I'm going to get x is equal to 55 and 1/5, or you can say 55.2, and that's going to be an exact answer. All right, the last one. Again, you should already have this done. If you need to pause the video because I'm going fast, that's fine. 18 is 75% of what number? That's what we're looking for, is the of. So we're going to put 18 is an is, so it goes on top. We're going to put it over x because we don't know what the of is. That's what we're looking for, equals 75%. So we're going to cross multiply and divide this one. We get 75 times x is equal to 18 times 100. Divide both sides by 75. And actually, these are getting easier as we go, because this, look, the 75 and the 100, you can take 25 out of that. Think money. Think to quarters. Okay, 4 quarters in a dollar, 3 quarters in 75. And then this one further reduces. I'll change colors. The 18 and the 3 are both divisible by 3, so this is 1, and that's 6. So I'm left with just 6 times 4, so x is equal to, x equals 24. So there's my answer. There's my answer for the second one, and here is my answer, either approximate or exact for the third one. Okay, so those are the answers you should have got. About 29.8, 55.2 or 55 and 1/5, and 24. Okay? All right, so one final thought to leave you with. That is, remember, is over of equals percent over 100. Again, note the colors. The yellow is of and percent can all be unknowns, and the 100 will always go underneath the percent. That is it. Thanks for watching. We will practice lots of these problems in class tomorrow, so that hopefully will be second nature, and we'll be very good at doing these quickly and accurately. So that's what we'll be working on in class. Go ahead and make sure you finish up your 6-5 classwork if you did not finish that in class, and I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye.